Yes, let's understand. In short, the end-to-end BI implementation. You see on my screen, we have various data sources like files, web data sources, IoT, applications, apps, and other cloud data sources. They can bring the data. They can bring the data and give it to OLTP environment, the online transaction processing tables or the online transaction processing databases. There are certain rules to design the OLTP databases. We'll understand them today. These OLTP databases always have definite size or size restrictions, few limitations, because of which we need to have data warehouse databases. And to get the data from OLTP to data warehouse, we need a transport layer, nothing but ETL, extract, transform, load. Once the data is sitting inside the warehouse, from there we can extract and perform analytics. And here it is inside the analytics, we have reports, dashboards, and so on. Let's understand more about this particular diagram. Firstly, let's have the OLTP. So what are these? Let's understand the types of databases. Data is stored in databases. The types of databases, the major types of databases, we have OLTP, data warehouse, OLAP. In olden days, OLAP, we used to have separate products like SSAS, SQL Server Analysis Services. Now, a part of OLAP is implemented by Cloud Warehouse, and some more part of OLAP is implemented by Power BI, Big Data Analytics. Let's understand the difference between these items carefully. So here it is. I'll take you to yes, here we go. On Excel file. Firstly, let's understand the types of databases. From there, we'll continue our actual concepts. Here it is. From various data sources, we have OLTP environment. Different companies, different products. We have MS SQL from Microsoft, MySQL, Oracle from Oracle, Postgres, Amazon RDS, etc. Here we are right now. Various ETL products like Azure Data Factory, Azure Databricks, and Amazon Glue, Athena, Snowpark, DBT. These are all ETL environments. And various warehouse environments, Synapse, Spark, Redshift, Snowflake, etc. Then we have analytics, nothing but the Power BI activities. Here, what's the limitation of each? Limitation of OLTP, limitation of number one, data warehouse, limitation of analytics. Let's understand carefully. Okay, here we go. A simple, straightforward activity. And these comparisons will be helping us for understanding our day-to-day activities in our actual practical classes. Let's understand carefully how it is. Simple concept. For this purpose, I'll take you to, here it is. Let's see. Firstly, OLTP. When it comes to OLTP environment, let's categorize this way. Developed by SQL developers, managed by SQL DBAs. What we are learning? The OLTP activities. Okay, next. Here it is. Then comes data warehouse, DWH. Okay, here we go. When it comes to the data warehouse, developed by data engineers, managed by data engineers, but in few cases by ETL admins, but not all projects would involve ETL admins. Data engineers will be responsible for all kinds of management, security, optimizations, monitoring, alerting, like this. Okay, here we are comparing OLTP and data warehouse. What else? Finally, reports developed by BI developers or data analysts. And data analysts will be involved in management activities. Next, design rules. Here we have normal forms. Data warehouse. In data warehouse, we have something called medallion architecture. In reports, we have something called data models. And we have design criteria. First normal form, second normal form, third normal form, BCNF, fourth normal form, like this. In medallion architecture, we have something called as bronze, silver, and gold tables. We have tables here. I'll just mention this one. Okay, here design objects. Design objects are nothing but tables. Here also tables. Okay, gold, silver tables. Here it is reports and dashboards. Here we have data models, star and Snowflake. In traditional data warehouses, we'll try to have a separate class for comparing traditional warehouse versus cloud warehouse. But for now, In traditional warehouses, data warehouse is used to take care of the relation star and Snowflake. Now cloud, it is given to analytics. Okay, here it is. Next. Then one more. OLTP environment, we'll talk about size restrictions. Size restrictions is always limited, usually up to few terabytes. For example, you take an Azure SQL database. Practically, we have a limit of 4 terabyte, 4 TB, practical limit for OLTP. Whereas data warehouse, unlimited capacity, no limit at all. Reports, not applicable. It's all about reporting. Some cloud space is involved. We are talking about the data, actual data size restrictions. Actual data size restrictions we are talking about. And we have compute units. There is something called vCores. What is it? Cloud compute units. Virtual cores we call vCores. And or something called DTU, data transaction units in cloud. It's like a currency unit, okay? Just like a currency unit. In warehouse, we have Spark clusters. Spark clusters and or DWs, data warehouse units. Data transaction units, data warehouse units. Reports do not have any cloud computing environment. I mean, when we say cloud computing, reports will not come into picture. There is no such pricing unit involved here. We pay per user per month. So pricing, it is pay, usually pay per DB per month. Pay per hour. Pay per usage per hour. Again, this pay per user per month. Usually. Okay. And this pricing we can give in two different environments. I'll put this way. I'll put this way. Implementations. We have Azure Cloud. We are talking about Microsoft. We talk about Microsoft Cloud implementations. We have Azure Cloud. Here we have Azure Cloud and Fabric Cloud. All reporting items are now in Fabric Cloud. Previously, we used to call it Power BI Cloud. Now, Power BI Cloud is completely shifted to Fabric. We'll take it in a small diagram format in next few minutes today to make it clear. We'll come to this point. We'll talk about Power BI Cloud in next few moments. Next, when it comes to pricing. Here we go. OLTP, pay per database per month usually. Here pay per usage per hour or per query. So if it is Azure, I'll just take it as Azure pricing. If it is Fabric pricing, not applicable. Here it is pay per query. Remember, not per hour, pay per hour. This pay per hour. This pay per query. Every time run the query, we pay for it. Not per hour, not per second. So there are differences here. Reports. Azure reports are not applicable. We need to pay per month. Pay per month account. Next. Real-time use for live real-time data workloads. This is for historical data and also for aggregated data and also for something called transient data, means time variant data, and also used for time travel. Time travel data, what does it mean? Time travel data, technically, time travel data means, for example, now today, or say now, right now, the time is say 8 a.m. Assume 8 a.m. in the morning. We can travel to some past point of time. Up to 30 days, the data would be physically retained. We can retain the data up to 30 days, 30 days, using something called for timestamp of. So mainly for stable reporting, predictive analysis, machine learning, audit and data governance, data compliance activities. This time travel is very useful. Part of our Fabric classes, we have it anyway. We need to write certain stored procedures for it like this with few parameters and data conversion activities, but very simple and straight. Okay, I mean, here it is, time travel data. Next, real-time use. This is for data analytics. Next, big data support. Not applicable. Remember, OLTP is not into big data. Data warehouse. Yes, in fact, like always, yes. And we have other one. Reports. Big data support for report. Yes, we'll be able to generate the reports here. We can. Okay, next step. Apart from this, then we have other important item. Other important item. When it comes to, apart from big data, we have one more. The storage objects. And the storage objects. Always tables. Remember, very important. Design objects are different. Storage objects are different. Here is always tables, nothing else. Here we have tables and files both. Here the storage is always in file format. There's something called semantic model files, always file format. Remember, warehouse supports even files also. Here we need to learn next few minutes about something called data in lake warehouse and lake house. There are two important terms here, warehouse and lake house. We'll see. So these are all the main important comparisons between OLTP, data warehouse, and reporting environments. Okay, with this information, next. One more important activity. Okay, this is about the actual comparison. Now let's understand the Microsoft clouds. Here it is. Microsoft has various clouds. Your Office 365 cloud, and we have Xbox cloud, Azure cloud, Fabric cloud, etc. Let's understand two important clouds here. Number one, Azure cloud. What is it? Azure cloud. This Azure cloud supports both OLTP. Here it is. I just put this way. OLTP and data warehouse databases. I said we can store files also, right? Those files are actually stored in something called as a lake. We say ADLS, Azure Data Lake we call. I'll just simply represent in this way. A lake, data lake, OLTP and data lake, like this. Okay, something like this. Azure cloud. Whereas other one, we have something called Fabric cloud. It is inside Fabric cloud. We have number one. I'll just put like this. Yes, so here we go. Okay, in this way. Azure cloud has OLTP workloads, warehouse workloads. I'll take the lake like this. Fabric cloud. In Fabric cloud, we have no OLTP environment as on date. There are few cases where we store files and warehouse together called lake house, and there are few cases where we directly store only warehouse. Lake house means files plus warehouse, files and tables both, whereas here only warehouse can be stored, the other part. Next, in between we have reports. Okay, like this. We have reporting activities. All reports are again maintained inside Fabric only. In olden days, we used to have the reports. In olden days, I'll quickly get the icon here for reporting. In olden days, we used to have all reporting activities in something called app.powerbi.com. Now that entire Power BI is moved into Fabric only. Here it is. I'll just put this on my screen, something like this. So Fabric Cloud is new. Reports and final touch. Here you will see the dependency. Azure talks to Power BI. Azure always talks to Power BI in this way. So any Azure data you want to report, you have to use Fabric. So dependency for Fabric is increasing day by day. Next, let's see. Let me show you this practical dependency first. For example, I'll go to app.powerbi.com. In olden days, we used to see directly Power BI cloud account separately. But now if I say app.powerbi.com, it takes you to Fabric. App.powerbi.com, it automatically takes you to Fabric. Here we can create not only new reports, see here. By default, it says new reports, but not only new reports. We are talking about something called file store, warehouse store today. Those are all available, called Fabric Workspace, we call it. For example, I go to a workspace. Yes, in Power BI and Fabric or something called workspace. It is inside the workspace we define all the activities. See here, we have reports. I'll show you. Reports, dashboards, reports, scorecards, visualizations, analytics. Plus, we also have something called pipelines, notebooks, so on. These are all lake house, warehouse, right? These are the terms we are using today. So Power BI is now inside a Fabric environment. Next, this is the Power BI part, okay? Remember. Here we pay, in Fabric Cloud we pay as per the usage. When it comes to warehouse, per month for report activities. Cloud, it's like a la carte. Fabric is like a buffet. This is like a la carte. We have to pay for each component separately. In Fabric, we pay as per usage, pay per query. In cloud, we pay per month, per terabyte, and there are few things where we have to pay per hour, etc., depending on the components. We have ETL components, warehouse components, storage components, monitoring components, IoT components, etc. Next. And we also got the job roles like engineers and admins, warehouse, analysts, reports. Now certifications. Coming to the certifications, from our learning perspective, so far we are into implementation perspective. Now certifications. We have 3 active certifications right now. I just put this way. Number 1 certification, DP300. From database perspective, these are the 3 active certifications we have. 1 DP300 for OLTP management. For OLTP, DB admin activities. Whereas other one for Power BI and Fabric data analysis, we have DP 700, so DP 600, sorry, DP 600, and next we have DP 700. These are the current active certifications. This is for Fabric data engineering. This also involves few Azure concepts. Azure data engineering concepts as well are now part of latest Fabric engineering. So from certification standpoint, Power BI wins, Fabric wins from certification standpoint. From job prospects, many companies are still using Azure. So Azure always has good market, a stable cloud, and few companies started to migrate to Fabric because it is also doing well in the market in terms of pricing, the data stability, data consistency, and other activities. So starter profile, I prefer Azure Cloud so that they can step into existing projects, and experience profiles go for combo clouds, Azure plus Fabric if you have some more experience like 8 plus or 10 plus. If it is somewhere between 3 to 5, 3 to 7 in between, you may go for one of these two, Azure or Fabric, anyone. But remember, Power BI is required for reporting purpose. And where is Power BI? In Fabric. Just to make it clear, let me take you back to the starting point of our course. Here it is. Next comes AI, the final item. AI is everywhere. We need AI in our classes for OLTP implementation, data warehouse implementation, and report implementation. We have AI. Though I mentioned AI in Power BI alone, because the impact is more there for aggregations, analytics, and so on. But that being said, we have AI in PySpark, we have AI in Power Query, AI in SQL databases in our classes. So SQL is important, undoubtedly. From SQL, we go for either Azure engineering and or Fabric engineering, and eventually into Power BI for engineering roles, end-to-end development, end-to-end design. For data analyst roles, from database, you directly go to Power BI, skip engineering part, that becomes analytics. So that's the reason I have two certifications on my screen here. DP 600, directly analytics. 700, engineering, both Azure and Fabric engineering. With this, any clarifications or questions, please do let me know. Glad to assist you.